Chapter 2, Bringing Static Assets to Life, Core Animation Principles. Sections. Section 2.1, The Big Five, Mastering Position, Scale, Rotation, Opacity, and Anchor Points. Section 2.2, Setting Keyframes, the logic behind A to B animation. Section 2.3, Smooth Moves, applying easy ease for natural motion. Section 2.4, Reading the Speed Graph, visual adjustments in the graph editor. Welcome back. In Chapter 1, we got comfortable in the cockpit. We arranged our panels, learned how to import footage, and set up our first composition. But right now, if you look at your composition window, everything is sitting perfectly still. It is time to change that. This chapter is where the magic actually happens. We are going to take those static logos, text layers, and shapes, and breathe life into them using the fundamental building blocks of motion design. Don't worry about complex physics simulations or 3D cameras yet. The truth is, 90% of the incredible motion graphics you see in high-end commercials are built using just 5 basic properties. Master these, and you can animate almost anything. Let's get things moving. 2.1 The Big Five, Mastering Position, Scale, Rotation, Opacity, and Anchor Points. Every visible layer in your timeline has a transform menu. These are the DNA of your animation. To be a fast editor, you shouldn't be twirling down little arrows with your mouse to find these. You need to know the keyboard shortcuts by heart. I call these the Big Five. They are the properties you will reach for every single time you sit down to animate. Here is the breakdown of the properties and the single key shortcuts to reveal them on a selected layer. Property Shortcut Description. Figure, a clean, high-resolution screenshot of the After Effects timeline panel. A single shape layer named Blue Square is selected. The user has pressed P, S, R, T, and A sequentially, so all 5 properties are visible under the layer name. The values are highlighted in blue text: position 960, 540, scale 100, 100%, rotation 0x plus 0.0, opacity 100%. The background is the standard dark gray AE interface. The anchor point, the most important invisible dot. Before you animate a single pixel, you must understand the anchor point. Beginners often ignore this, and it leads to frustration immediately. Imagine sticking a piece of paper to a wall with a thumbtack. If you put the tack in the center and spin the paper, it spins perfectly around the middle. If you put the tack in the top left corner and spin the paper, it swings wildly like a pendulum. That thumbtack is your anchor point. In After Effects, this point looks like a small target reticle. By default, it is usually in the center of your object, but not always. If you try to scale a box and it shrinks toward the corner instead of the center, your anchor point is in the wrong spot. Figure, a side-by-side diagram comparison. On the left, a square rotates around an anchor point located in its exact center, spinning neatly in place. On the right, the same square rotates around an anchor point located in the top left corner, swinging in a wide arc. Red arrows indicate the direction of motion to visualize the pivot effect. To move it, press Y on your keyboard to grab the pan behind, anchor point, tool. You can now drag that target reticle anywhere you want, even outside the object itself. Pro tip: hold Ctrl, Windows, or CMD, Mac, while dragging the anchor point to snap it perfectly to the corners or center of your layer. 2.2 Setting Keyframes, the logic behind A to B animation. Now that we know what we can change, let's look at how we change it over time. This is done using keyframes. Think of a keyframe as a marker in time that tells After Effects, at this specific second, I want the object to look exactly like this. When you set 2 keyframes with different values, the software automatically calculates all the frames in between. This process is called interpolation. Here is the standard workflow for creating basic motion. Set the start time, move your current time indicator, the blue line in the timeline, to where you want the move to begin, e.g., midnight. Activate the stopwatch, click the stopwatch icon next to the property you want to change, e.g., position. A blue diamond will appear on the timeline. You have just locked in that value at that time. Move in time, Move your current time indicator forward to where you want the movement to end, e.g., 2 o'clock. Change the value, drag the numbers or move the object in the composition window. After Effects automatically creates a second keyframe. Figure: a screenshot of the timeline panel focusing on the position property. On the left at midnight, there is a blue diamond keyframe. On the right at 2 o'clock, there is another blue diamond keyframe. A thin line connects them. The stopwatch icon next to the word position is highlighted in blue, indicating animation is active. The time indicator is resting on the second keyframe. Congratulations! You have just created an animation. Press the spacebar to preview it. You will see your object move from point A to point B. However, you might notice something. It looks a bit mechanical. It starts instantly at full speed and stops dead at the end. It feels like a robot, not a living thing. That is because, by default, After Effects uses linear keyframes. To make it feel real, we need to smooth it out. 2.3 Smooth moves, applying easy ease for natural motion. In the real world, nothing starts moving at full speed instantly. A car has to accelerate when the light turns green, and it has to decelerate when it brakes. This principle is called ease. If you want your animation to look professional rather than amateur, you need to apply easing to almost every movement you create. The quickest way to do this is a feature called Easy Ease. Click and drag a box around the keyframes you created in the timeline to select them. They will turn blue. Press F9 on your keyboard. On some Macs, you may need Fn plus F9. Look closely at the keyframe icons. They have changed from diamonds to hourglass shapes. Figure: a close-up macro shot of the After Effects timeline keyframes. On the top track, standard diamond-shaped linear keyframes are shown. On the bottom track, the hourglass-shaped Easy Ease keyframes are shown. The contrast highlights the visual difference in the UI icons. Now, press spacebar to preview again. You will see the object gently ramp up its speed, reach maximum velocity in the middle, and gently slow down to a stop. This subtle change makes the movement feel weighted and intentional. For 80% of your work, standard Easy Ease, F9, is sufficient. But for that final 20% of polish, where you want things to feel punchy and dynamic, we need to pop the hood and look at the engine. 2.4 Reading the speed graph, visual adjustments in the graph editor. This is the part where many beginners get scared and quit. Don't be one of them. The graph editor looks like high school calculus, but it is actually just a visual representation of speed. Select your position property, make sure the keyframes are still selected, and click the graph editor button. It looks like a small square with a squiggly line, located at the top of the timeline panel. Figure: a screenshot of the After Effects interface highlighting the graph editor button. It is located in the timeline toolbar. An arrow points to it. The timeline area has been replaced by a large graph grid with a white curve on a dark gray background. If your graph looks like a weird colored mess, right-click anywhere in the graph background and ensure Edit Speed Graph is selected. You should see a hill, a parabola. Here is how to read it: height equals speed. The higher the line is on the graph, the faster the object is moving. Left to right equals time. With Easy Ease applied, you see a symmetric hill. It starts at 0 speed, bottom, goes up to max speed, top of the hill, and goes back to 0. To make the animation snappy, we want it to be fast in the middle and slow at the end. Click on the keyframe points at the bottom of the graph. You will see yellow handles extend out. Drag the left handle to the right, and the right handle to the left. You are creating a spike, a steep mountain rather than a rolling hill. Figure: a diagram of the speed graph editor. The curve is manipulated to look like a steep peak in the center. Yellow handles are being pulled inward. Annotations explain: steep slope equals fast acceleration and flat line equals slow no movement. The visual style is sleek and technical. This shape tells After Effects: wait, zoom, slow down. This creates that modern, energetic motion you see in tech reviews and explainer videos. It takes practice, but mastering the graph editor is what separates the users from the artists. Take some time to play with those handles. Break the motion. Make it weird. That is the only way to learn how the physics of After Effects truly works. We have covered the big 5 properties, the logic of keyframes, the magic of F9, and the power of the graph editor. These are the tools you will use every single day. In the next chapter, we are going to start layering these elements together to build complex compositions. Take a break, stretch your legs, and when you are ready, let's see how layers interact with each other. Figure Mind Map Chapter 2, Core Animation Principles, the Big 5, Sad Smiley Anchor Point, A, Sad Smiley Position, P, Sad Smiley Scale, S, Sad Smiley Rotation, R, Sad Smiley Opacity, T, Keyframes, Sad Smiley Stopwatch Icon, Sad Smiley Time and Value, Sad Smiley Interpolation, Easing, Sad Smiley Linear versus Natural, Sad Smiley Easy Ease, F9, Sad Smiley Hourglass Icons, Graph Editor, Sad Smiley Speed Graph, Sad Smiley Height equals Speed, Sad Smiley Bezier Handles.